what makes them stand out from other awards in our space?
These awards are not designed for the people, the providers of those services, but actually the recipients. So that's why we invite corporates to nominate themselves.
When corporates can put forward for awards, they can win these awards, press releases go out, it's amazing for them, and people within their own company then start to recognise the department, recognise what's going on. I've also had people who've got job offers off the back of winning awards before.
Today, we're excited to launch the TTP Corporate Excellence Awards, and we're delighted to invite you to nominate yourselves or to nominate your corporate for these well-recognised industry leadership awards. They'll be taking place on the 7th of October 2026 in London at the Lansdowne Club.
What makes them stand out from other awards in our space?
Well, first of all, we decided to turn awards upside down, because actually when you think about liquidity and risk management, global trade, treasury and payments, we often forget about the end user or the customer of those products. So these awards are not designed for the people, the providers of those services, but actually the recipients. So that's why we invite corporates to nominate themselves, and the banks, the insurers, and those providers to nominate their corporate clients. I mean, given your background, particularly from a corporate treasury perspective, why do you think this recognition is important for the industry?
I think there's so many corporates doing amazing things, but a lot of the time it's just behind the scenes, so they don't get any fanfare. There might be, particularly speaking about corporate treasury, there might be departments within a company that no one else in the company really even knows about. So when corporates can put forward for awards, they can win these awards, press releases go out, it's amazing for them, and people within their own company then start to recognise the department, recognise what's going on. I've also had people who've got job offers off the back of winning awards before, so there's some quite good personal presence that you can get from entering these things as well. But it's just really important to know what's happening in terms of innovation. That's the thing that comes out from these awards, is quite often it might be best practice, doing something in a really incredible way that can be scaled across different geographies, different sectors, or it might be completely cutting edge, so things like AI, and it just brings it to the whole industry. So you can share all of those things that are going on behind the corporate walls with everyone else. So all awards are different, we know that, but tell us a little bit about the methodology, the judging that's going to be going on for these particular awards.
Sure, so look, we're proud about our rigour and independence for the awards, and as many of our readers will know, we have a global advisory panel. A subset of that global advisory panel, around 20 people, will sit as judges across all of the categories, blindly judging the awards entries that go through, and when we have when we are statistically certain that they are the clear winners, that's how the winners will be announced. And if there are any conflicts of interest, the global advisory panel has to declare those ahead of scale, and we're really strict about that because the number of applications for this year's TTP awards were extraordinary. And actually to uphold those standards, we're making sure that rigor's in place. So corporates can nominate themselves. There's a form on our website, there's a document or a Google form link that they can fill out their application. There are lots of hints and tips about that. We can talk about that later. But once that's happened, once the judging process has commenced, we will then let the winners know under embargo, so that we can get in touch with them. Perhaps we can do some interviews and actually find out some really interesting editorial elements of the transactions or the deals or the teams. And we've got a whole variety awards, right? From the actual deals themselves to the teams and what they're doing.
Exactly, yes. So we've got many different categories. There's the corporate awards themselves, so that'll be things like Global Corporate of the Year. We've got Corporate Treasury Awards to go alongside, so specifically for my audience particularly. And then we have Corporate Payments Awards as well. So there's lots of different opportunities for corporates to nominate themselves, or as you said, for service providers to nominate their clients. So plenty of range. And I think quite often it's easy for people who might think about nominating themselves to be put off because a category doesn't fit, or they think that they're too small, or what they haven't done isn't impressive enough. But actually we've got a huge range of opportunities, and I would just really encourage people to put themselves forward, because you never know, and you have to be in it to win it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I guess in terms of applying, because I often think that many are inundated with requests to put in a good nomination. As someone who's seen many of these nomination forms, what tips and tricks would you offer to those filling out this form?
Yeah, I think it's really important that you remember how many nominations the judges are going to be reviewing. So they might have 500-600 nominations potentially that they're looking at. So you need to make it really punchy in terms of what's different about what you've done. It can't be just an everyday project or deal. It needs to be something that's out of the park and really make those distinctions very, very clear. A few bullet points up front is always useful. I would caution people on using generative AI too much for your nominations. It can be really great to condense the information, but we want to feel the passion, we want to feel the human side of the story as well. And particularly when people are nominating themselves for a team award, that's where we don't just want to know about the project or the deal, we actually want to know about how everyone has interacted together. So give a real flavour of that, I would say, would be my best tips, because that's how things stand out.
And I guess it's a good idea to, I'm sure many people have already either written these applications for other awards, or they've done their annual reports and things like that. It's fine to reuse them, right? And
exactly,
tweak them
I know.
We don't know.
I think people always feel bad, like, oh, I've submitted for XYZ award and I shouldn't submit for this, but why not? You've done all of the homework, and if you didn't win, or even if you did win, we are still absolutely open to hearing your story. And as you explained, it's an independent judging process. So, use that homework, put it in, it's there, it's rating.
Absolutely.
Right, so Depesh, for anyone who's out there thinking, okay, I'm going to submit my award, what's the process? What's the timeline from here?
Yeah, so nominations are open now. So corporates, banks, providers, technology companies, nominate your corporates, nominate yourselves now. Nominations will close in August 2026, and we'll be putting the date on the screen. The periods, the reporting period, so the period of time you're nominating your work is from the 1st of January 2025 until the 31st of July 2026. And winners will be notified, and the awards ceremony will be on the 7th of October 2026, held at the Lansdowne Club in London. And you can find out more information about the wonderful award ceremony. And I guess having done our previous awards, slightly different awards back in February, what can people expect at the award ceremony?
Okay, they'll be in for a very packed night with an awful lot of networking and chatter. So for our awards in February, I felt quite bad going on stage, interrupting the conversations to present the awards, because there was so much great discussion going on. But we'll have some nice drinks beforehand, then we'll go on, we'll have the ceremony, people will get their trophies, they'll get certificates, opportunities for photos, of course, potentially do some editorial interviews as well, and lots of networking and fun, all accompanied by some live entertainment. So maybe a bit of singing along, maybe some dancing as well.
We won't give away all the surprises now, but I think what's really important is the recognition of winning an award. International recognition. You can talk about it to your clients, you can talk about it to your partners. You can put this trophy on your shelf at work if that's what you like to talk about. But it really is a long-standing, well-recognised set of awards that really will stand you apart from the pack. So we highly recommend applying and we're looking forward to your nominations.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you've got any questions apart from how do we win, then please just get in touch with the team. Anything you need, we're here.
Thank you very much. So we are looking forward to your nominations. Don't forget to nominate yourselves or your partners or your clients by August 2026, and see you in London on the 7th of October, where the winners will be announced.